Okay, hello everyone. I'm Liu Guanlin from CDE. Today I will report the feedback and the harvest of EE4090 summer training module 2 and make a summary for this day's experience. So in the first day of our training session, I start to get in touch with a microcomputer, Raspberry Pi. I learned how to use disk manager to swap the partition of a SD card and use it as a storage of Raspberry Pi. Then I configure a series of settings to make sure I can handle the further tasks. In addition, I get familiar with Linux commands, which is fundamentally required for the further tasks. For the first day, it is not really stressful. And then in the second day, we step into how to do some practical jobs with Raspberry Pi, attached with device such as camera. By simply write Python programs with a source open on the internet, we can make the Raspberry Pi to object detector. This is the first time I have ever learned how to use this intelligent function based on and the work. Besides, I also find the limitation and the weakness of this object detection function, such as the mixed color between two nearby objects will cause chaos, etc. And the next day, which is day 3, I learned how to use terminal to install Tesseract and OpenCV to make the Raspberry Pi to recognize the task in different kinds of image. We can either use a terminal to directly control the Tesseract using several Linux commands, or we can drive the Raspberry Pi by Python program to deal with different sorts of images with different background or lightness. I learned that we shall adjust the parameter of OCR flags, such as OEM and PSM, only depends on the default setting will not work. In day 4, we learn to use SenseHead, which is hardware attached on top, add-on board element for Raspberry Pi. It allows Raspberry Pi to make environment measurement, output, uh, and uh, by using the basic knowledge of Python and some guidance and hints on the internet, I successfully built programs for Raspberry Pi to display snake game and compass and random arrow game. Here, please let me show the result of snake game. Okay. So this is the video recording of the snake game. As you can see, for the beginning, the snake is only 1 point, and then ate the apple, and it will become longer. Yeah. So this is the achievement of snake game. So indeed, day 4 is really practical and interesting for us. During that day, we learn how more about Python language. In day 5, which is the last day of training, we learn how to build a local database server using phpMyAdmin and using Raspberry Pi to record the real-time temperature and make the recording listed in a web page. The skills is very essential for us. The things relevant to data manipulation, because I intended to learn financial engineering and knowledge brought to us is really functional and direct. So I spend more endeavor to learn how to fulfill the task, and finally I make it correctly. Also, I learned more about PHP coding and the HTML language, how to make web page more individual and pretty. Yeah. So in summary, the module 2 about Raspberry Pi is really practical, and the experience that gave me is so much valuable. I really appreciate the department to offer such good training, and I believe that the knowledge I gain from this training will help my career in the long run. And that's all for the training summary. Thank you so much.